AI human comparison, is it just a marketing language making this technology easier to sell?
There's a more to it. Some people laughing. To me, I don't think it's a laughing matter at all. I think it's some serious conversation, but comparing it to the human, no, I do not agree with that, and I do not support that comparison at all.
But is it able to really create something new, like a human can?
Comparison to me is uncalled for, unrealistic.
And especially when we start looking at potential job loss, right?
Yeah.
I'm training it now, but it could be taking my job in 3 to 5 years. Welcome to episode 12 of Automation Breakfast. I am your co-host, Keegan.
Sandeep.
And roll. And just to let you know, Sandeep went away. This is Mr. Bond. He definitely...
Bond showed up for episode 12.
Yes, Mr. Bond. So we're going over quite a few topics. AI training versus human learning. The AI hype. Autonomous vehicles, mobile drones, Waymo remote support, automation technology, auto parts, the supply chain that's really struggling, teachers discussion, technology versus social connection, and a couple other bonus ones we may get to.
Great.
So first one, the AI, AI versus training a human. Here we go.
Things that is always unfair in this comparison is people talk about how much energy it takes to train an AI model relative to how much it costs a human to do one.
What are you trying to
query.
say?
But it also takes a lot of energy to train a human. It takes like 20 years of life and all of the food you eat during that time before you get smart. And not only that, it took like the very widespread evolution of the 100 billion people that have ever lived and learned not to get eaten by predators and learned how to figure out science and whatever to produce you, and then you took whatever you took. So the fair comparison is if you ask ChatGPT a question, how much energy does it take once it's model trained to answer
that's
that
an
question?
interesting take.
Yeah, in a way, I understand because if you train your AI model, it takes away that training because you're going to that person that has that 20 years of experience. So go ahead. I know you want to counter.
So it's kind of like comparing, like, hey, a bullet kills a person quicker than a knife. I don't know. I mean, why are we comparing, like, even humans? I mean, ChatGPT is to benefit humans.
It's a different form of energy too, right?
Right.
When you're looking at it, you're going, okay, what's it take to make a human life and develop that person, get them educated, take them to school?
And plus, all the generations of human input in this whole, and their input to build all this, right?
But
So
but you also have that too. We have the energy for the children that are still here and the people, and then now you're adding also the energy. So we're basically saying we're doubling the amount of people on Earth. Then is kind of what he's saying by having to use all this energy then to form and create answers.
I don't know. I don't
LLMs.
agree. Yeah, I don't agree with the whole comparison. Like, human takes us. It's like, what your point is? Like, we need less humans and more ChatGPT. I mean, what are you trying to say? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
And that's the guy running it.
Well, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
then. So this may help with the conversation. So AI human comparison, which he's doing, is it just a marketing language making the technology easier to sell? Is that what he's doing?
I don't know. I think there's more to it. I don't know. I don't like the whole line of conversation that led to, and how quickly he had that answer. So what is the conversation behind that? The whole thinking that went on somewhere else, that where they did the study or where they even made that comparison. I mean, there's a more to it. So I'm thinking I don't think it's just some people laughing. To me, I don't think it's a laughing matter at all. I think it's just some serious conversation that went behind that one line.
Well, and it's also a way that they need to justify then
Exactly.
the energy consumption that it takes to produce these these AI models and structure.
And I get it. If the conversation led to like, hey, we're working on to even more energy efficient, and we're working on to how we can train these models even using less energy. If the conversation led to that, that would have been great. But comparing it to the human, and no, I do not agree with that, and I do not support that comparison at all.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting take. I think, Raul, when you put it into so many times we've talked about energy and how much this stuff costs. I mean, and all these companies that are needing to build this amount of money to then grow AI even bigger. I mean, I think, we've kind of mentioned it now in the past. You have, these companies that just want to start collecting more and more money, and it's going to cost more and more energy to make. I mean, don't you think at some point this is their kind of their justification? Like,
Well,
how
sort
do
of.
they get there? Like, we have to justify this somehow. Well, for you guys, it takes this much energy to produce a human. Here, we take less technically, right? They have to justify this somehow.
Well,
And
that's why I think it's kind of more of a selling approach, because you got to sell this idea,
Yeah.
this technology.
you got to sell the
And
energy consumption.
yeah, well, that's part of it. But, here's something I never really thought about. But, well, obviously AI takes this data, uses that information, and able to pop out the answer pretty quickly. But is it able to really create something new like a human can?
That's what I'm saying is like the comparison is just to me it's uncalled for, unrealistic,
Yeah.
anything you could put on it that is not the correct comparison between human and
Machine.
yeah. I mean, it's machine that's built by human, and it took thousands of years to human to get here to build that building and have that plastic and have that computer system and so on to build that's getting built to for that AI. Humans build that. So if human haven't spent all that energy,
So
they would have lived. Sorry, if
so-
they would have lived in caves, we wouldn't been like they would have just kept on living caves and killing animals and eating.
you're for it. I'm sorry, you're against this idea, right? You're selling
I'm
this-
just against the idea
Keegan,
of comparison.
Play the opposite role.
I mean, yeah, no, I think
play the opposite
I see
role.
why
Argue.
no, that's what I'm saying. I see why they see that as, well, it's technically less energy, because if you ask it to do a simple math problem, or even a complex math problem, I guess is a better example. A child knows 2 + 2 is 4, but start getting into advanced physics and algebra and different kinds of science. You got to go to school for that. For maybe you get a degree. So then you look at it and you see, okay, well, this thing just spit out my answer in a tenth of a second, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of their justification of it. Well, but then also you look at it and go, okay, well, from an energy consumption, we talk about this almost on every episode. Like, it's still a lot for them to get to that point to get the answer.
And it's just more than energy. I mean, energy is one part of it. There's a whole environmental impact. So there's I mean, we cannot just
Well, we have one going on here sort of locally that the community's sort of fighting back because of the
all of
worries
it,
about
all the
energy
places, the
consumption
community fighting
and
back all this.
increased electrical rates and things like that.
And they already went up. A lot of places, the electrical rates.
They just got approved here in the state for 10% increase.
Yeah. So
Well, I thought it was 4%.
no,
I think
I thought it was 10, but
yeah, I think
I think they were pushing for 10. I thought it was 4.
yeah.
But yeah,
I
still-
know every year they ask for like 120% or more,
Yeah.
allegedly, and then they either decline or allow it, and then they probably negotiate.
yeah. Well, just to conclude this, I think, I mean, scientifically, you can make all the comparisons you want. Yes, numbers may make sense, but if you look at it holistically,
Yeah.
that the
You gotta be careful, basically, when you start comparing people to machines.
yeah,
Right.
you got to be not
It's
just
gonna be a
careful,
sensitive topic.
yeah, I mean, to get your opposition to your whatever you trying to prove, that's a really easy way to do that. Is start comparing it to the whole human energy and and what have humans accomplished so far to get here.
And especially when we start looking at potential job loss, right?
Yeah.
This thing now then I'm training it now, but it could be taking my job in 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true. Very true. Hope you guys like the breakdown of real technology versus hype. Please like, subscribe. Next one is, give me a second. AI and real versus hype again. So.
What AI has done is it has re-empowered the head of technology in every business in the United States. And it has pushed budgetary resources into the hands of the chief technology officer. So what you're seeing across American business is actually the impact of American businesses spending more on digitization writ large, of which AI is just one component.
Yep.
It's one component, but in some sense, it's the cover story that creates the space for American companies to really embrace technology in a much more profound way. I was in China about 1.5 years ago with a group of prominent global executives,
Go China
and they
again.
were all talking about how AI was changing their business. It was so fun. And I said, let's go around the table and let's each share a story as to how we're using AI to make our business better. I heard 5 or 6 great stories. Not one involved generative AI.
But does that mean that the productivity boost from generative AI is still to come? How quickly will it come and how big will it be? I mean, are you in the camp that, as Dario Amodei says, half of all entry-level white-collar jobs will, be gone in the next 5 years? Is it that kind of change, or is it more incremental?
Put yourself in his shoes. How much money does the AI community need to raise over the next 5 years?
A lot.
Right, data center spend in the United States this year over $500 billion. Like over $500 billion. Okay, you're not going to generate this kind of spend unless you're going to make a promise you're going to profoundly change the world.
So is it hype?
Of course.
Very true.
So AI
of
will
course.
not profoundly change.
Like
the world.
how else are you going to get people to write $500 billion of checks just this year alone?
Very true.
Right, there needs to be a level of AI
very
is your
true.
savior
Yeah.
almost.
So there's like, nowadays there's a like ongoing meme thing that you want to raise money, and you show like a realistic application of like an automation project or something, and it's less likely funded. And you throw in, we're using AI.
Using AI for it.
And they're just throwing money
10x
at it, right?
Yeah.
So I think,
And my projections are 10 times higher than what my initial thought was.
Yeah. You say like, instead of like, we just maybe a few $100,000, it's gonna be $5 million now. But you're using AI, right? Yes, we're using AI, physical AI. We're using the other, all the AIs, and all of a sudden it's approved. I mean, it is a hype to some, like, my question is, so do people who or actually want to implement it or think, do they do not understand the AI or what AI is, or is that something intentionally
misleading almost?
It's like crypto, right?
Yeah.
Initially, crypto came in, people were buying pizza with it, right? I know a person who spent 20 whatever Bitcoins to buy a pizza. And now that 20 Bitcoin been, I don't know, whatever it is right now, right? So is that what this is? I'm not sure.
I mean, I think if you look at it from his perspective, and you guys know my opinion, I think there's going to be massive job loss and cuts coming up in the future. But it does bring up a valid point of when you go for funding, hey, we need to sell this thing. And I'm not going to be able to sell it, like you said, if we're not promising we're changing the world, they're not going to get investors. So I get that part of it, but I do see, I'm definitely not in that boat. I think in the next 5 years, we're going to see massive, massive change in the job market.
I think definitely there will be change. But my just concern is there a lack of understanding what AI actually is?
I agree, and I think
Well,
if
to be perfectly honest with you, yes, but only ones going to recognize it is people who are kind of experts in the field. Outside of that, like for example, let's go automotive or cars. People are car guys. They're people who love muscle cars, understand that realm very well, and versus what type of gears they need to have. Like for example, if somebody wants to create a muscle car, you need to beef up the transmission, need to beef up the axle.
Yeah.
You need to have stronger, I guess you say gear manufacturing parts. Otherwise, you're gonna if you try doing it, if you only beef up, for example, the transmission,
Right.
then it's gonna bust out. Like for example, here's one I remember. A buddy of mine, his dad, they would race cars all the time, and this is back in the '70s. He goes, they used to weld the transmission to the frame because there was so much torque, it would just
You just pop right off.
and he goes, it still would come off.
yeah,
Obviously, we don't have those vehicles anymore.
Right.
but I think almost this AI term, I guess, would be something close to what we saw 15, 20 years ago with the term like machine learning. Right? There's lots of machine learning, and everything that came out was machine learning this, machine learning that, and like some of those terms now have almost kind of rolled just into AI. When as we've discussed, a lot of the stuff's just machine learning. It's not really doing anything
So-
AI.
Yeah.
But it's almost like that term, because now we used to put machine learning on everything. Now we just kind of throw on that AI term.
Yeah. So that's where I seen customers ask us when we're trying to when we propose our technology and whatnot. They're like, does your robot have AI? I'm like, my question is, it's not a matter of yes or no. It's like, what do you need that AI for?
To do. Yeah. What's
And they don't even know. They just
what-
want to know if it's in there.
Yeah,
Is it AI capable?
Yeah.
What's the challenge you trying to overcome with that AI?
Yeah.
So I think the question should be it's not a matter of is there AI or not. It's not like a unicorn. It's real. AI is real. But it depends on what application you're trying to use it for.
Yep.
So I got a question for you guys. So with Griffin's statements right there, what do you guys believe the real economic value of AI is?
I think to the previous point, it does take less resources to do the task that basically inputting data inputting a lot of those where manual work.
Computer
Well,
desk jobs.
Yeah, well, I look at it as it's a tool.
It is
It's definitely it's a tool that you can
Yeah.
use. You can pull in data from, I don't know, let's pick on areas where expertise in assembly lines. You bring in all the data, the cycle times of each station. Okay, you pull that data into the AI. Okay, tell me which line it has the longest cycle time. Out of the 100 stations, station 57 is the worst one.
But you don't need AI to do that.
Well,
You don't need.
Well, what I
we
mean
already
is,
have systems that do all that pretty easily now.
well, that's what I was kind of getting into. Now, then, where does the AI come in?
Yeah.
Okay, what work should I spread around? Where's the potential cost savings would it be?
I mean, I
So
guess that
that's
could
where
be
they-
quicker, right?
Yeah,
that could
that's-
definitely be quicker.
it's
quicker at identifying it.
Exactly.
Is your point.
It is
Exactly.
quicker at a time frame. Only backdraw is like like the bigger picture is the use of energy to get that answer, right?
Yeah. Whereas before, you might have a team group meetings
Yeah,
every
it would
morning and
probably
look
take
at
a
your
week.
top 10 list and say, "Oh, these are my top 10. Let's get after 1 and 2 here real first." When in reality, maybe that AI recognized number 7 or 8 could have been the real bottleneck or the
Yep.
cause of
Or
the delay.
or
right?
just
So-
give me my
so-
top 10
Yeah.
of what things I could change, and
Yeah.
then we pick it out.
I think if it's used as a productivity tool, I think it is great. Where you needed, I don't know, I seen people exiting or they've been exited from their jobs like in thousands, and those were the jobs that, in my opinion, they were like not had a value, direct value to a customer anyway. those were not like, they weren't creating value for the business. They were basically doing work that the customer didn't pay for, right? So I think those are the jobs that may get axed. But yeah, I mean, AI is real, but it's definitely, if you look at it per application.
No, definitely. Guys, let us know what you guys think. Real, hype, give a comment, like, subscribe if you like the topic. And if you want to talk to Mr. Bond over here, he's definitely flying solo today. All right, next one.
1-800-SLICK.
So new AI tools for autonomous vehicles. Let's get into this.
Today, we're announcing Alpamayo, the world's first thinking, reasoning autonomous
Oh,
vehicle
that's great.
AI. Alpamayo is trained end to end.
Going to put you on business,
Literally
Mr. Bond.
from camera in to actuation out. The camera in, lots and lots of miles that are driven by itself, where we human drive it, using human demonstration. And we have lots and lots of miles that are generated by Cosmos. In addition to that, hundreds of thousands of examples are labeled very, very carefully so that we could teach the car how to drive. Alpamayo does something that's really special. Not only does it take sensor input and activates steering wheel, brakes, and acceleration, it also reasons about what action it is about to take. It tells you what action it's going to take, the reasons by which it came about that action, and then, of course, the trajectory. All of these are coupled directly and trained very specifically by a large combination of human-trained and as well as Cosmos-generated data. The result of it is just really incredible. Not only does your car drive as you would expect it to drive, and it drives so naturally because it learned directly from human demonstrators, but in every single scenario, when it comes up to the scenario, it reasons about, it tells you what it's going to do, and it reasons about what's about to do. Now, the reason why this is so important is because of the long tail of driving. It's impossible for us to simply collect every single possible scenario for everything that could ever happen in every single country, in every single circumstance that's possibly ever going to happen for all of population. However, it is very likely that every scenario, if decomposed into a whole bunch of other smaller scenarios, are quite normal for you to understand. And so these long tails will be decomposed into quite normal circumstances that the car knows how to deal with. It just needs to reason about
that's cool.
it.
Well, and I think the key thing there is he also ended on that, and he said it earlier in the presentation, the reasoning, right? And that is where you see, the AI function of autonomous vehicle driving. It's not just, hey, go down the road, turn left, turn right. It's the reasoning of, if something were to happen here, why am I doing this? Why am I reacting this way in the vehicle?
Yeah, I mean, right now we see, I think, the older model of doing in cars where Waymo, right? It's basically, it doesn't stop at crime scenes. It doesn't stop in a constructions and
gets stuck in parking lots. You see
it
the
gets stuck
videos.
in parking lot. Is fighting each other on the intersections.
Yeah, who goes first type thing, right?
Yeah, who goes first?
We all show up at the same time. Who goes first? Yeah.
And so all those scenarios, right? And I think, again, this is now where is assisting humans.
Yep.
Right? It's assisting, AI is assisting humans, is assisting, this is not, actually, to me, it's not even like about the total autonomous part of the cars. This computer, it can assist as a driver is sitting in the car as well.
Mm-hmm.
It can assist, it can predict, hey, traffic is slowing down by 2 to 5 miles per hour.
Yep.
And I think there's something, the traffic going to back up. And my prediction is because of the weather, because of the blah, blah, blah,
Well, and
But
also
that's what Google does.
Yeah, but also too with this though.
Google's still using that. I think it's a little older model.
Well, yeah, but it's the same concept, same idea. And the only difference is your phone updates. Now your car's just going to veer off and go the other direction.
Well, what Google does is actually is the way it collects data on is like how signals collect at one place from the phones.
Yeah.
That's how. Remember that one guy in I think it was in Europe. He got tired of people driving
Put all
on
the
his
phones
road.
in the trailer or something.
He just manipulated a bunch of phone signals on his road.
Yeah.
So like every car, every driver or map thought it's congested.
Yeah.
So people went around
It was just him. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So
eventually somebody's going to do it with this.
well,
thing.
I think this one is like you said, it is more real application.
Yeah, and the difference between this too, guys. Remember, I'm gonna now be able to communicate with maybe not the car in front of me because they aren't
10
driving
cars-
autonomously, but
10
a couple
cars-
cars ahead of me too. And when he slows down, I'll know, hey, I can slow down or turn or what kind of traffic
there's a debris in the road or whatever that may be, right? So that's what I'm saying is this is more real world safety, and this will save time in a sense for people, and I think it'll help to maintain the overall roads and everything. Because
do you guys know who he was partnering with this? I couldn't remember.
I'm not sure, because I think this is something that's available to like they just built a computer and it's probably going to be available to people to.
Yeah, I thought I remember reading somewhere. Maybe it was Tesla or someone was trying to partner.
We're
with
working
them
on a project, and I'm going to talk to my partner about why can't we use this.
Yeah. Seriously. Except the cost of that chip, probably a
Well,
little bit more affordable.
What are we
car
creating?
than-
I mean, we're creating something in logistics, like something for the road.
Yeah.
So I think why can't we use this? So I think there's a real world use, and I think we should be
100%.
Yeah, and and our sport technology is like that. It's where it brings more safety.
Mercedes-Benz.
Oh, it's Benz. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have like semi trucks and everything. So
Also with
they were pretty big.
JLR, Uber.
Jaguar Land Rover.
Mentioned interest in Berkeley deep divers. Deep dive.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it's happening. It'll happen. I think everyone's been a little bit more.
I'm really surprised he
when
didn't
the
try
autonomous is coming though. Like that's the thing. Like everyone keeps thinking it's going to happen. It was going to happen in 2020, and then it's 2023. Now it's 2025, and now So I think in reality, right? Maybe next 10 years we'll start seeing this as sort of a common thing.
Yeah,
I don't think that it's
next-
going to happen next year.
Yeah, I think it's probably like next 5 years we'll see more commonality.
Yeah.
Just like nowadays we have it's a standard in most of the cars, new cars, is auto steer, right?
Yeah.
So basically, if you have it on and if you're trying to go off the lane a little bit, it'll pull you in.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, it's turned off in my car, but that is good for so if that technology is widely available now, or it had been available for the last 5-10 years, so I think this is something it will probably next 5 years. It probably something.
I just think it'll be a little bit longer, personally, just because everything that we've been shown it was going to happen last year. It was going to happen this year. Robot taxis are coming out, and then now it's pushed to 27. Everything just keeps getting pushed. This will help speed it up, maybe.
So I think this.
You know what? There's so many companies doing this. Uber, Lyft, and I guarantee you companies outside of our country are doing it as well.
Yeah, of course.
And so it's just a race who's going to get there.
Yep.
But the part I'm really, really surprised about is that why aren't they trying to partner with some of these phone companies? Like they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like everybody has an iPhone. Everybody has an Android.
In my opinion,
that's where they need to go.
In my opinion, the technology is way ahead of our phone technology right now. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Well,
you're probably right.
To a degree, but just having that, because either you built this into your vehicle, or you do it, or you just use the phone, because everybody's going to have a phone no matter what.
Yeah.
Especially here.
Yeah. So I'm not
So
sure.
what are you saying? You connect the phone then to your car?
Well, I guess I'm thinking of the Hanwei. I think it's Hanwei. They're called the one in China. Is that when they send the car? I think the Ford CEO mentioned this. When they send the car, everything sinks in
Yeah.
to the vehicle. So I'm like, if that makes so much sense, like a seat goes to your preference, it knows where you live,
True.
all that good stuff.
But
Well, technically they probably already know that already, but
yeah.
but it makes sense for them to partner with those.
Yeah. And I mean, it does, but again, there's the adaptability of it. How much people are comfortable with their data or their personal privacy. So it's the adoption of it.
Yep.
And how people are comfortable. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
No doubt. Let's see. Well, again, like, subscribe if you guys like the topic. Next one is future of mobile drones. Oh, this is great.
Oh. Man, how'd you feel if you were out in the middle of nowhere, all by yourself, and those are overhead? Oh.
Oh,
There's the answer. Wow. Okay, that was cool.
Huh?
Hey, if you want to give me one, Sandeep, go for it.
So, I mean, that's something is needed because I've seen it for the last couple of weeks. We've seen all the conflict that's going on. And there's, drones basically going into buildings, and that those drones can be packed with anything, right? So I'm thinking this is something where basically electro fencing,
Yeah.
as that's what that is, that's what it looks like.
I'm just wondering what kind of technology they're using behind it to scramble the.
So it's what's the terminology for that? Where it been around, in the military or the defense side of it for a while.
Yeah.
Well,
and again, I'm sure
electro
it is.
pulses, right?
Okay.
They basically they shoot that and disable the chips and everything in it.
Yeah.
That was the reason. You seen the Ukraine drones? They had a fiber optic cable.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys seen it.
No. I haven't.
Okay, so they were literally connected to their servers with a fiber optic cable, and the cable is almost as thin as look like a wasp net. Just a really thin fiber optic cable, and the fields were filled with those things.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing those. Yeah. I've seen something like that.
And those ones, I don't know if this will work on those.
Yeah, because they're technically connected, right?
They're technically connected.
Yeah, that's right. Now I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like a spider.
Yeah.
Web.
So
And that technically, it's
I,
connected to the ground, so you can't use any sort of EMP type technology on it.
yeah.
So Ukraine military has been testing fiber optic controlled drones to resist jamming and hacking.
So I think
Yeah. So, but that's got to be short distance, though, right? You can only.
Oh, they went far.
I mean, a mile. You think?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
So that's why I said there's a fiber optic cables laying all over like a freaking snow.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do remember seeing something like that.
Yeah. So I think the most drone testing, we can all have our difference of opinion on Ukraine war or whatnot, but I think all the testing on the drones and the way they've been using the technology, it been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So, quick question for you guys. So, could these technologies eventually be misused domestically?
I have my concerns on that. Yes.
Well, to be honest with you,
There's no regulations.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, technology similar to this has always been there. It's just not everybody knows about it. So, for example, I saw the other day on X where this guy is like, oh, somebody can hack into your garage signal if they happen to be right there and, grabbing it. But that technology has always been there.
Yeah.
Even when I was in high school.
Yes, but here's the thing. If the garage has gold bars in it, right?
Yeah.
The garage has a car made out of gold and you want to steal it or whatever, somebody wants to steal it, right? Then only they're gonna hack it. So my thing is yes, that's you have to physically has to be there and do all that. But with these drones, and that was basically, I guess, the reason somebody goes in there, because there was a valuable thing. But with these drones, somebody feels like they don't agree with what's going on right now, and they try to do something crazy.
Yeah.
And they go Walmart and buy, I don't know, 50 drones.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying is, and they
Well, to be honest with you, you can only fly drones in certain areas. Otherwise, I think it would cut off the signal. At least
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I thought.
Like if you think about airports or something like that, right? You're
Well-
definitely not allowed to fly in that area, but you hear about it every now and then where they do, or like the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
or you
I
get certain
I
big
personally
events.
thought they had jamming signals in those areas.
And maybe they do, and maybe they use something like this technology.
Yeah, I'm almost positive they use jamming signals in those areas. That way you can't.
But here's the thing, right? That's great. We're jamming, we're doing that. But my concern is, how do you regulate the bad actors versus good actors?
Yep.
The good use of drones and versus bad actors.
It's just isn't every technology like with phones, with AI? How do you regulate against the bad actors against good actors?
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. With the drones, now we have Walmart delivering here, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it on your way here.
Amazon. Yep.
Amazon or Walmart.
How am I going to get in
whatever.
there so I can get their groceries?
Yeah. I mean, we can get the breakfast order right now. I mean, I'm just saying is, so there's that technology. So now for Walmart, what if there's Walmart drone is delivering some kind of a prescription, life-saving prescription for somebody,
Yeah.
and it's in a controlled, basically room, the temperature controlled container or whatever, and it has to be at the customer X amount of time, and there's some incidents that happened, and they have these jammers up.
Yep.
What does that Walmart drone do? Like what?
Crash.
What? That's what I'm saying. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Does it have right of way between those things, or does it just indiscriminately just stops every drone? I mean, how does that get regulated?
Well, somebody's going to have to.
Or if those were like Red Cross drones coming through.
That's what I'm
for,
saying.
Supposed to be non-affiliated with any military group or whatever. Yeah, no, it's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, how do we differentiate right now? Like, even you paint those white with the red mark, that doesn't mean that technology is gonna look at that.
Yeah.
Or like the police lights and everything
Yeah,
else.
you can do all that too, but that doesn't mean that technology that you stopping these drones can differentiate between this and that.
Yeah.
Or how does it regulate in the air, the pulses? How does it regulate? It can't. Not right now.
Not right now.
I mean, I get it if this thing's something is a laser targeted.
Well, you're talking like point to point, like as in hospital to hospital type situation. It to me it's kind of like, okay, you could probably put it like safe location, where somebody takes it to that spot. That would be the workaround.
I think next or following episode we do have drone export coming.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Let's hear it from him.
Yeah. Good idea.
What?
We have
We have one, Keegan.
we gotta actually we got a
Someone who does it for their job.
we got a CTO we got a CTO of a drone manufacturer coming.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Dive more into it next episode.
Yeah, let's try to get him next.
I think that's why he put on Mr. Bond put on a suit today.
Yeah. I'm getting ready for it. All right.
So just please like, subscribe, please, and also if you like these type of topics, it helps us keep things going. So the next one, I know is one of Sandeep's favorite areas. Waymo having remote support.
Shit.
So now we know for sure what happens when Waymos get into this kind of Mexican standoff type situation. Apparently somebody in the Philippines provides guidance.
Waymo has critical safety employees who may need to intervene in a split second if a Waymo encounters an unknown dangerous situation located in the United States. In what countries are these employees located?
Oh, great.
The Philippines.
Excuse me?
The Philippines.
During a congressional hearing on Wednesday, Waymo's chief safety officer, Mauricio Pena, was grilled over the company's use of Chinese-made vehicles and reliance
Keep
on
it in the same
overseas
country?
workers. After being pressed for a breakdown on where these overseas operators operate, Pena said that he didn't have those stats, explaining that some of the operators live in the U.S., but others live much further away, including in the Philippines.
Pulled out of the garage and I saw this going on. It's like,
I love it. Waymo standoff.
Yeah, what do you do?
This is so funny.
Yes, this would
Oh
be
my
kind of
gosh.
funny if not for the very real possibility of foreign hackers
Also
accessing and taking over the operations of these vehicles. This is Senator Ed Markey, quote, overseas remote assistance operations may be more susceptible to physical takeover by hostile actors, potentially granting them driver-like control over thousands of vehicles transporting passengers on American roads. Heavy and fast-moving vehicles could quickly become the weapons of foreign actors seeking to harm innocent Americans. Look, you do you, but I myself, because of all the...
Well, that's very true.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty wild to think about. And, you hear rumors of that, supposedly sometimes from Tesla autonomous vehicles as well, as that there's some remote access. And, I get why they do it, for potential hazardous or situations like this where they have to say, hey, this car hasn't moved in 2 minutes, what's going on, to take over. But I'm kind of with them as maybe it probably should be in-house here in the States. Instead of being international, in case you get these hacking.
Wasn't an entire car made overseas or no?
Yeah, I think
The
these are
Waymos?
like.
Yeah,
I
let me
think
see.
they were.
Yeah, I mean, they could be, but still, I mean, there should be some controls potentially. It seems like there's clearly a potential hacking hazard.
Well, but here's the thing: these Waymo things, and again, I'm not too familiar with the technology other than. Well, okay, I shouldn't say technology with those cars, but they do have a steering wheel.
Yes.
So why can't?
But if you're using it as a taxi, right, and you're in the back seat.
No, I'm saying you're in the back seat. Why can't the operator basically say, okay, this car, we're in a situation. Can you get out of it?
But that particular video too, it looked like there was no one in those vehicles, right?
Oh.
So there was no one even in those vehicles to even get in the car, because I'm sure then the cars are locked once there's nobody
Yeah.
in the car.
Yeah.
Because they've got cameras, I'm sure, all over the
Oh,
car.
yeah.
So then they know nobody's in the car, so the doors are locked. So now we're in this Waymo standoff.
The potential security threat, I totally 100% agree.
But you could still get that security threat in America too, though.
But I'm just saying is that can be with anything.
Yeah, anything connected to your Wi-Fi or Wi-Fi can potentially be hacked.
Didn't we, what was that? There was a potential, basically jamming the whole signals in New York was going on a few months back.
Yep, back in September.
Yeah, so there was that was going on. So I mean, yes, it can be with anything. So nowadays, it's I don't know. It's a topic where how much you're willing to give up.
So let's go around. Would you take a ride in a Waymo right now?
I have actually.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you would have.
No, I have because it was my only Uber. I needed to get back to the hotel. So
how was it?
It was fine.
No other person in it with you, like for potential.
No,
driving?
actually, I have it on my phone. I
Cool.
should show it to you guys. I recorded a little bit.
We'll put it in the clip.
All right. But it wasn't, to me, it wasn't bad. But it was like, I went to CrossFit in the morning, so it was like a 5 a.m. class. There was really nobody on the road for it to go through any crazy scenarios. But that's
What city was this?
Excuse me?
What city?
Atlanta,
Oh,
Georgia.
Okay.
So, but the example he showed was when it needs to make decisions, it's kind of like, to me, this is where, I'm pretty sure you guys done this programming with conveyors. You have to have a traffic cop. You have to have that software in there. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like there's need to be some fail safe within.
But that's what the previous video with the CEO of Nvidia was mentioning.
Yeah.
Where they have that reasoning of, okay, who goes first? You were here. Let me move out of the way so you can get out. Whereas this, it's just like, hey, I need to go forward and I can't make a decision.
To be honest with you, I've done the programming before. It's not always 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when we do, like, in our world, right? PLC programming, when we have the scenario where you have PLCs and we have robots and we have, let's say even a computer, right? So let's say we have three sets of, and they're all talking to each other. And when we do that, we set them one as a primary then we set up a, slave and, things like that, right? So still you have one system. It could be PLC, it could be computer, it could be, well, mostly PLC, in control, and is controlling the robot and, things like that, right? So in a similar way, if the concepts in these cars and whatnot, if that was a case, say, hey, the priority is the, in this scenario, the priority is, whatever that may be, right?
Well, that's where, I don't know, to me, everything looks nice in this perfect world. Like, for example, the last episode, we were showing video of, what was it? Paving the road. Yeah. It was such a perfect day. It was bright. It was sunny. It was straight. Everything was perfect. Everything, programming is like, it's perfect. It's down a straight line. Everything's, in a perfect straight line. But when it gets messy, is like situations like that. Like, what do you do? That to me that's where I always say the real programmers come out.
Yeah, well, I get it, but at Nvidia, I think that's where that will come in. I'm pretty sure they develop more on it, and I think that will be something that will help overcome some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
And I think we need to more and more go that route where we are programming it with the intention for the real world.
Yeah. Because
in reality, right, you look at some of this stuff, if we're just driving straight down the road, doing left-hand, right-hand turns, that's the easy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's these hard scenarios.
Well, let me throw something at you guys. I know you guys been to big towns. So what is like some of the craziest towns you drove in? You're like, oh man, what the hell am I doing?
Bangkok.
What was that?
Bangkok.
India.
I want to say Houston.
Houston was okay.
No, I've been on the highway. On the highway
in the States here, right? You could say San Francisco, Houston,
I say New York.
Atlanta, New York.
Yeah,
right?
Houston
I drove in New York.
Well, no. What I guess what I'm alluding to is like it's like you're going, like, for example, I don't think I was going 90. It is little Prius is passing me. All these little cars are passing me, and then the highways are kind of confusing. I'm kind of like, okay, where do I go? And I'm kind of looking at Google.
Trying to look at your phone. And
you're just like,
well, in that case,
real quick.
I think I was in Canada too. It was
Canada can get confusing.
Yeah, there's like their highways are just.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. But yeah, so I think that's probably the one place. But in India, like first time I drove, last time I went a few years back. And I drove a car, and I was like, because we're so used to here our independence, right? So over there, I couldn't wait for people, so I started driving. Man,
don't they drive like this, right?
No, they drive like this. Not like this. Like
on top of each other.
Yeah. No, but it was a point where your split second hesitation. And you will be just parked there forever because you just let somebody else go.
Yeah.
So again, these are going to come on different areas, different cities first, learn.
Well,
and then adapt.
I think
I
they
hate
need
to
to
say
go.
this.
I think they need to go to like I seen a couple of companies or individuals in India doing the autonomous vehicles and stuff. I'm like, that's the best scenario right there.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
true.
overcome that, you can drive it freaking anywhere
Well,
in the
and that's
world.
kind of the good old adage, right? Instead of going after the easiest thing, where initially I'm thinking, okay, go in some small rural community, super simple, learn there. But in reality, yeah, you're probably right. If you can do it in the toughest spot
Yeah.
in the world, you
Yeah.
can do it in the easiest spot in the world.
Yeah.
If you do it in the easiest spot in the world, doesn't mean you can do it in the toughest spot in the
Yeah.
world.
So like, why we think like, all these autonomous cars and whatnot, they're in San Francisco, not just because of the technology or money. Technology is everywhere nowadays.
Yeah.
It's because of the weather,
Driving
because
conditions.
of the driving conditions,
Yep.
and things like that.
And the
That's reason.
traffic and
Yeah.
all the external factors.
And,
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good point.
Have that Waymo come up here when it's like there's a 4 feet of snow, right?
Right.
So yeah,
You can try. You can try.
yeah.
So if you like that topic, like, subscribe, give Keegan a call. He's an expert in all these fields.
Yes.
Something like that.
So next topic.
Delta announced a little while ago that they had done a partnership with this Israeli company and they were going to use surveillance data about you to figure out how much you were willing to pay for a plane ticket. You have a funeral to get to, or that you've got a meeting on Monday. A wage is a price. Uber drivers, they bucket themselves into two groups. They call themselves either pickers or ants. So pickers are people who are picky. Ants pick every ride that comes along. If you're a driver, Uber can impute a level of
Yes.
desperation
We've
to
seen
you
this.
by how many lowball offers you're willing to accept. Now there's 4 giant apps. They all sell themselves as Uber for nursing. So the app, before it gives the nurse a shift, finds out how much credit card debt they're carrying. And the more credit card debt they're carrying, the lower the wage the nurse is offered.
That's insane.
So
Holy smokes.
think about this the next time you're getting your catheter inserted, right?
Well, and you see that right with Uber. If there's a big event, or for example, we were down at a Lions game, back in December, I think, and the Uber prices to
they
get
just
back home
hike.
were just insane, because they know
Yeah.
everyone's there trying to get the heck out and get home.
Yeah.
And so they gouge. So yeah, seeing and hearing things like this where companies are going to start doing that. I mean, we see it in the airlines, right? You have spring break prices go up.
Well,
Any
not
holidays
just that.
prices go up.
There was a hearing where they basically charged like same line, people standing, and they charged different people different
Yeah, I remember hearing
pricing
that.
for the baggages,
Yep.
oversized baggages,
Well-
or what was considered oversized. So I'm just saying is this is where the government need to work, not other places. This is where
Well, I'm going to throw something at you guys.
What's
I
up?
want you to think about something. Isn't this just old scams and just be using AI instead?
yeah.
I mean,
no,
I mean,
it's,
if you like a taxi before Uber came out, before the smartphones, if they knew there was a concert getting out,
Oh, 100%.
they'll jump up
Prices,
the price.
prices went up.
So
Yeah.
again, okay, I'm gonna give an example of India again, or any other Asian country. You go from here, and they recognize you that you're a foreigner. The
Yeah,
price
take
just
take advantage of you.
Yep.
and it will
yeah.
go
'Cause you don't know.
500% up.
Yep.
And that happens like okay, basically all other countries, Asian countries, or whatever you want to call it, in that side of or African countries even, that they'll have a different set of prices for you. But again, we say okay, those are third world countries, this and that. That's happening here.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's the same old system.
Yeah,
It
it's a
is.
scam.
And if we let's
It's a
say
scam.
let's say
Just say it as it is. It's
a scam. It's a scam.
It's a scam, and it needs to be stopped.
Yeah. So they put the rules down. The government puts the rules down. Then they're going to go back to the old style.
Yeah.
They're going, oh, we don't use this app anymore, but we got this piece of paper right here.
Well, then they'll just raise the prices.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
going to
mean,
go
so-
back to the old style.
No,
I
that's
guess
fine,
maybe
right?
that's part of the problem with fluctuatory pricing, right? Whereas it used to be, taxis would do that, but then they started doing, okay, it's going to be 75 cents a mile or $1.15 a mile everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Or, maybe it's 50 cents a mile per flight, right?
Yeah.
You take, or that's the only way to stop this kind of, we'll say, abuse to the customer.
It happens everywhere. Like for example, when everything went off in Mexico, a lot of people were kind of stuck in these towns, these tourist towns, and they go back to the hotel they were staying in. They're like, oh, the price jumped up 30%, 50%, and they had to pay it because they couldn't leave the country.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking is like, I mean, unless we just putting a lipstick on a pig basically and saying we're saying like, hey, we are a developed country, scams don't happen here, this and that, I mean, if that's the thing, then whatever. But I think we need to there should be a regulation.
Yeah, I guess his point is like he gave some scenarios where you have to attend a funeral or anything like that. But let's take a different scenario. So how many times we go to conferences? Probably at least two to three a year, right? And sometimes you travel outside the state, and that conference for the week that's there. Let's pick on, I don't know, Chicago. I guess it's as close. How much you're going to pay for a hotel room in that area during that conference? Probably
Three times.
$300 to $500 versus if it was just a regular week, it'd probably be like $120.
Okay, so here's okay. So
Let
me put
for all sorts of things. Too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's kind of like, well, why if we're
let's put it in
apply
perspective, right? Let's put that in perspective. These parks, let's say, Michigan Adventure. Let's take that an example. They only open 6 months a year, right? The drink to buy a drink there is, I don't know, it's $25. Let's say, it's to buy a pop or whatever,
like Vegas.
Endless refilling. Yeah, it's $25. But they have to, though their justification is they only open 6 months a year. They provide those services at that time. We go there voluntarily. We know we're gonna pay this. Conferences, motels, those things. Those the only time they get packed. Those the only time they fill up, and they have to make the money, right? But what my concern is, this is the predatory side of on this one is where
it's an individual basis.
Yes. Right? It's not saying it's a flu season. We are shorted on nurses. It's going to be X amount for everybody.
That's a good point.
It's X amount for everybody. No, it's only they're checking their credit scores. They're checking their. It's like a what they call selective. It's a selective discrimination. I think.
Yeah. It's a good point.
I mean, that's a strong word, but it is a selective discrimination for people because they are, they studied whatever their background may be, the situation they came out of it. Yeah, they may have a bad credit, but that's because they're
or death in the family.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only in the family who actually went to college, who actually got that kind of job. They become a nurse or what not, right? And then they're basically taking that as they charging them basically this, I would say, poor tax.
I'm going to counter you.
They're charging them a poor tax because now it's saying you came from that background, your credit score is low. We're gonna give you even less money.
Okay, now I'm going to counter it. So now kind of the last topic we had is an old scam. So what? I mean, now they're using AI to do all this, but what's the difference between the hospital or, somebody getting that person's information because they have a social security number, you look in the background, then they know that information right there, but you don't see it that way. And then they know their credit score and everything else and be able to do that same lowball offer. It's basically, I feel like, I hate to say it this way,
but I think there's a labor laws. So there's a labor.
But now they have to. But you're moving that idea or that method to AI now, or to be able to do it like.
Yeah, but
this is like
that. This is like independent agencies.
It is, but
they're not covered. They're not covered under labor laws.
But like we talked about too, this is where we're using AI instead of for good, kind of for nefarious or negative activities that in this instance are still probably legal because there are no rules set up around it yet.
That's what I'm saying. There's no rules set up for these individual Uber-like apps where they basically dispatching nurses. So
And other apps that are like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So
And like they said, even airlines and other businesses,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just
I
these
mean-
few, but it's just using AI then as a tool, but that's maybe not for benefit, but using it negatively, right? We always think of military action and things like that. This is now using it for profit.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I mean-
I think it's discriminatory to the individuals who are putting in the hard work and not getting the equal value out of their pay.
I hate to say it this way. I'm going to take another approach. I feel like this is kind of like target marketing.
Yeah,
It-
That's
it
a good
is.
word. That's a good word.
It is.
Yeah. You're targeting the certain people, certain
Well,
individuals.
exactly, but we don't have to agree with it.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
mean,
I definitely don't. Because
That's what I say. I don't agree with it.
I don't agree
yeah,
with it. But
I don't think any of us agree with it. But we all see why they're doing it.
yeah.
And just like they used to do, right? Like I said at the beginning, spring break, or if there's a big game, right? And for example, when Michigan State went to the Rose Bowl, my mom and I got tickets to go out there. Flights before the game, $300.
Well,
Flights after the game,
I hate to say it this way.
$1,000.
I
But
mean,
that's
this-
for everybody, right?
Right.
But
Well-
it's a time period, and it's for everybody, not just
Not an
Keegan had a different
individual.
flight, I had a different,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a
price,
great
you
point.
had a
Good
different
point.
because,
Yep.
that's where my concern is.
Yeah, and I got another one. I now it just kind of hit me. So these are legitimate. He's kind of presenting legitimate companies doing this, right? Like knowing the emotion, knowing the situation. What about the non-legit companies or quote unquote scammers?
Oh yeah,
They have that same information, and they're gonna quote unquote make you go to the fake Delta website, a fake link.
Yep.
And then give your information. I'll be honest, I got caught in that with United States Postal Service. It was a fake link, but I was expecting a package, and it was very important to me at the time because it was from the IRS. So it told me that my package was late. I don't know how it knew, but it knew. And then it sent me a text message. I put my credit card information in there, and then luckily, they caught it. But it's the same idea. But it was, it's just now it's moving on.
Yeah. It's a great lesson. Never do anything unless it's from that direct website.
Yeah. But I'm
So-
telling you, 100%.
Yeah.
So
look
on
just
that
like it.
on that note, even my bank calls me like from 1-800 number, and I tell them like nothing against you, but I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna go to website. I'm gonna call that number, and you give me the reference number for the case, and I'll go on that number and I'll call, and if they have the reference number, that's great. If not,
Have a nice day.
have a nice day.
Yep. Exactly.
Good ending.
Exactly. All right, guys. Again, like, subscribe, and Mr. Bond and Mr. Keegan are ready for the next topic: auto
Si,
part
senor.
manufacturing collapse.
Uh-oh.
What?
Parts.
Fellow motorheads. All right, guys. So, boys, we're in trouble. We're in deep trouble. We already knew the automotive industry was getting hit left and right, and
Yep.
for us guys who run repair shops and do things, it's going to get real hard. Let me explain to you what's going on. I had somebody call me today for a 2018 Ford, I think it was. I didn't write all the information down. Needed a power steering pump.
That's definitely
I
Ford.
said, okay, we'll see what we can do. So called all the three that we have around here, the big parts companies. Don't have them. One said they could special order it. A really cheap pump. Okay, they could special order it. So went down the rabbit hole, went to looking. Okay, in 2023, a private equity group bought out some of the major parts remanufacturers like Cardone, Trico, stuff like that. In January of 2026, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They're already starting to break up all the assets. Cardone started in Philly, large, great big manufacturing outfit in Philly, and they had a lot of employees, and they were offering pump power steering box rebuild services. I mean, they did a lot of stuff. Half of this stuff that we brought out of that warehouse is Cardone stuff. And come to find out, you're not going to get it anymore. Okay, Cardone, the factory has already been broken up. The employees have been laid off. Yeah, this is a crazy rabbit hole. You know, we all love these older vehicles, but I got news for you. Now I see why everybody was on that 78 Ford. You got minimal stuff there to repair. You don't have to worry about Cardone that often.
Yeah, we'll separate there, guys. But
Yeah.
give me an idea. Yeah, the car.
So is imminent, is gonna happen.
I've got two takes on it. One, yeah, I mean with vehicles, how they're making them now, right? They are lasting a little bit longer, so you aren't getting as many repairs. And when you do, you probably have to take it to your specific dealership. But the other thing I keep thinking in the back of my head is the way we make EV vehicles now. They're about 60% less moving parts on it than a standard ICE engine vehicle, right? So you're going to have less parts anyway. So less chance for repair and things like that. So I think you're also kind of looking at a double-edged sword here of vehicles are probably lasting a little bit longer, plus EV vehicles aren't going to have as many moving parts anyways, so that means less breakdown.
So my whole thing is going to happen for that reason. Is what Keegan said is that, you know, there's a less private equity companies. They are buying off not just these parts. They're buying off big automation companies. They're buying off a whole bunch of things. And for them, they even bought out a packaging company out of Florida. A buddy of mine just left that company.
Yeah.
Anyways, what for them is numbers. They don't care you're a Ford fan, Chevy fan, you like to work on cars. For them, it's numbers.
Yep.
If the numbers don't make sense,
it's not profitable.
It's not profitable. Shut it. But there's a silver lining that I'm thinking of. The reason what we need to do is we need to learn how to use 3D printers and 3D scanners.
Mm-hmm.
That is a one thing that you can do it at home. That's one thing I'll say. I'll recommend kids. I will recommend adults. If you're old hobbyist, learn those two things. Yep. 3D scanning.
I've seen it done with somebody who's doing car repair and building an old truck.
3D scanning and 3D printing. You get to that because this is gonna happen. We don't have enough. I would say is in us power to stop this happening.
Well, like he was saying, I think you bring up a good point. It was something I was going to bring up. So he's talking about, you know, a lot of these car part manufacturers got bought up at 2023. Now they're filing Chapter 11 in 2026. So all of them are kind of going away. So now what you're alluding to is that it's opportunity for somebody else to jump into this.
Winners and losers in every freaking game.
Yeah.
Well, and also too with a lot of these big companies, right? They're going to say, well, I'm not going to make 5,000 of these pumps like this guy was saying because I'm only going to sell 5,000 of them. My minimum quantity that I have to make now is 20, 50, 100,000.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't see it as beneficial, right? So you see a lot of companies now that are doing that, but then they're also leaving a lot of opportunity on the table because it's like, okay, well, I could make 5,000 of them in 3 or 4 different variations. Maybe the price goes up a little bit, but we don't want to touch it because now it doesn't hit my minimum quantity.
Individuals set up a 3D printing shop. You can do metal 3D printing. There's I know a really good company here or individuals who have a company in Detroit. They do laser 3D printing, you can call it. And basically they take a powder like the regular metal powder.
Resin powder.
And one of the biggest tractor company, they actually refabbing their blocks and their gearboxes with that same technology. So there's an opportunity, and this opportunity will, you know, all these people who are getting let go, I think this is where the opportunity is if somebody wants to use it.
Well, I'm going to throw a little counter in here, guys. So with the administration, you know, with our administration right now, taking off some of the emission standards, and this is allowing kind of car engines to come more into play now. And I think some of these automotive companies are going into gas powered engines again.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think it was more a mistake for these guys to shut down, or not really?
No, there's
Or is it more hybrid? Is
I think,
kind of the key?
I think again, going back to Keegan's point, the new engines, they're gonna run cooler. They're gonna run
longer.
They're gonna run longer.
You really think so?
Yes.
Why is that? Because all I see is turbo engines right now. Everybody has a turbo engine.
Yes, but what they're doing is there's a lot of this energy efficient through like the battery technology and whatnot. That's because they're becoming all, the hybrid. The only thing when 15 years ago, when you said hybrid, only thing came to your mind was Prius, right? I mean that was the only hybrid. Now there are these big trucks. Everything
Ford's
is
moving into that area.
Yeah, the hybrid is moving in all that. So what a hybrid does is, and we all know, if the engine runs cooler, if the engine runs efficient, there's a less carbon buildup, there's a less things to break, less water pump to, because it's not running hot, and there's less likely those seals to dry up. So they're gonna run longer, and because of that, okay, I don't agree with them shutting it down, but on the number side, I see the point why they're shutting it down.
Well, and the joke used to be too, right, with Rams. You never get more than 100,000 miles out of it until you gotta, change a drive shaft or something goes wrong on it, right?
I got a Tahoe right now with 300,000 miles.
Yeah. Yep. So I think it's kind of a double-edged sword,
unheard
right?
of in Chevy Tahoe with 300,000 miles.
You just have this double-edged sword where you have cars I think are lasting longer. These VCs
the
now
engines
are wanting
smaller,
more out of companies.
Yeah,
and they want to be more profitable.
I just know that these turbos, unfortunately, cost more to fix once they go.
Sure.
Yes.
And yeah,
But what percentage are those turbos, right?
Right now there's a lot because
really?
There's more,
I mean
Ford's moved almost all.
Almost all the vehicles right now have a turbo being installed in the engine. The only one, the reason I'm saying that because we're kind of looking at new SUVs, and I'm like, every one of them has a turbo, like a 4-cylinder turbo, and the only one that doesn't, I think it was the Blazer. It's the only one that didn't have.
You got a V8 in our SUV.
The V6. It was a V6. Even they don't make
there's
V8s
a
anymore.
V8 coming out. I'm not sure who's
Jeep. Our Jeep is a V8.
Is it V8?
No, the new ones.
Mm-hmm. It's new.
Okay. You must have a special order. Usually those are.
I mean, it's big. So
okay.
It's like a bus.
Is a wagon? Is it?
Wagoneer.
Wagoneer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Wagoners are.
I've been
V8,
looking for
big.
V8.
I mean, you still get Dodge Durangos or V8s. You can get V8s in those. There's still a handful you can still.
In the Chevy,
it's harder to find.
See a V8.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be the same with Ford, right? All their trucks used to be V8s. Now they're V6 with turbos.
V6. That's what I'm saying. That you can find a V6.
So even the Raptors, which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. The $100,000 truck, Raptor. Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, again, do you guys like this topic? Like, subscribe, and if you're looking for 3D technology, I guess get a hold of us.
Yeah, if you're looking for any 3D build-ups, you need some parts, we can build you those.
And we'll hit up the
Between
last.
three of us, we'll do something.
One more yet? All right.
Oh yeah.
What do we got?
Last topic, guys. Teacher, technology changing social connections.
More and more people are turning to chatbots for life advice, for companionship, and even for love. Harvard Business Review, by the way, says that is the #1 use now of chatbots: companionship, advice, and comfort, affection. What if the time we spend commuting with digital companions displaces the time we spend with one another?
That's interesting. Well, you know what, guys? I'm going to check out my chatbot. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like we talked about last episode too, right, with the companion bots. You're seeing a lot of people now using them more so as we'll say, partner or asking life questions, advice, and they feel more comfortable talking to that than an actual person.
Yeah, and I think that like how they say your pets are your reflection as well. They'll act
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way you act. So my chatbots act like I do, I guess, because I build them where, hey, give me no nonsense.
Yeah. Shoot me the answer straight.
Don't polish it. Give me just straight up. Give me the answer. I don't need you to boost me up or anything. Just give me the answer, and that's how my chatbots are trained. And so I don't know.
Well, what she's saying
I'm
is
not looking confident on the screen.
Well, I think what she's saying is, kids in colleges and younger, they're not.
It's
they're not,
dangerous.
They're not socializing. They're going towards these chat bots, and I probably should have brought this clip in, but I have to look for it. You guys know a gentleman named John Taffer?
Yes.
Yeah.
He does the biorescue.
Great show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so he's been doing more and more podcasts, and he was saying that, this younger generation, I think they call them Gen X, right?
I don't know, something.
Let's call it Gen X for argument's sake. Is that he was saying that they don't go out and drink anymore. They don't go to bars. They don't do any of that.
To that point, I was reading that the alcohol sales has dropped.
Yeah, they dropped.
Like 30%. Like it was an unreal number. And they said there's a lot of these whiskey or, those people, they're actually, the more popular right now is non-alcoholic drinks.
Yeah. That's what he brought up.
So
coffee shops.
And even like, mojitos and things like that. But those are non-alcoholic ones. Those are more popular because this next generation, they don't see themselves like as any I don't know, benefits out of it. They're not seeing the output out of, being in that social
that social environment.
Yeah.
I mean, he was saying that
the whole song about drinking in the corner in the dark, they don't see themselves.
Well, he was saying that, like, for example, COVID, when that hit, a lot of people, especially that generation, we're all home. We can't do anything. So a lot of Zoom calls and whatnot, probably having Zoom drinks or manufacturing happy hour type stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was all you could do at that time. And then they kind of got used to it. And that became the norm. And then obviously maybe their friends went back to normal life. So I could see why they went to this.
Yeah, my team just got developing, we partially helped the team to develop this app. And that's the app's it's called Breaking Bread. It's a young lady out of Grand Rapids. She developed it. And her whole idea is that people to come together, community networking, break bread together. And literally you set up a social event where you do the dinner together.
Yeah.
So I think those gonna be more popular.
Well, to be honest with you, like Meetup already kind of has that set up already. So is it just like that?
Well, this is more I would say this is more her version of it.
Okay.
And where people are getting together, where they're doing more than just network. They're they build relations. They build because that's what happened during COVID. Before COVID, I don't know how many times did you use Zoom before COVID?
It was very rare.
Rarely, yeah.
Really? Right?
WebEx, do some WebEx.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
It was all WebEx, maybe
and-
Skype.
Well, I forgot the Skype was the other one. Yeah,
right? But that was it,
Rare.
right? And that was the most thing where like you could not make it, and that was the last resort.
Yep.
Now the first resort is people don't even want to meet you in person.
They won't turn their camera on.
Well, first they want to do it. Even the business meetings, they want to have
Do a Zoom first.
They want to have a Zoom or whatever the online meeting first, and then they want to meet you in person.
Yeah.
So COVID has changed a lot of things, a lot of our behaviors.
Communication patterns.
Communication is one of the biggest thing.
Like, because back in the day, obviously, if you first meet somebody, you go meet them in person. Maybe chat with them on the phone, but definitely go meet them in person.
Yeah.
Now it's Zoom, meet in person.
Yep.
So do you think that's a good thing, bad
No.
thing? Like,
I think the human the reason we doing this podcast in studio,
Yeah.
and the reason
The
we
connections, the interactions, the
interaction is
language, body language.
body
right?
language is like, we understand where the person's emotions are for that certain topic or certain
so what would be the argument then to stick with or go to the Zoom style versus what would be the argument for that?
to go on the Zoom?
Well, I guess what I'm alluding to is kind of a devil advocate thing. I think it's better for a person to meet, especially when they do business
In person.
In person. But what's the kind of argument to go with Zoom first? What would be the
Ease, 100%. It's
Yeah,
easy.
so
you have 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, ease.
Yeah.
I don't have to travel. You don't have to travel. We
Yeah.
just get on a real quick call. It's flexible. It's easy.
I think I think Zoom has kind of it took away the phone call first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
And
good point.
I think it's a partially both. It's took away the phone call, the one we had used to call, and but I don't get it because when some people I'm the guy who always turn on the camera,
Yeah.
always, but I see people, they get on Zoom and they don't turn on their camera, so I'm like, what is the purpose of that call if you're not doing it on phone? You want to do it on Zoom, but you won't turn on your camera. So I think that social structure has kind of shifted.
I think some people are shy or traditionally shy.
Yeah, I
mean,
get it. I mean, I was one of the biggest introvert, but
yeah,
it's something you have to overcome.
you have to. Yeah, and I guess if you're not forced to, why would you?
Yeah, but then you could have had that conversation on the phone.
Very true. The only reason I guess a counter argument to that. The nice thing about a Zoom is that I can share my screen. I can show you when I'm alluding to or trying
true.
to. So those are to me the benefits with that versus a phone call. You kind of try and describe it in an imaginary sense.
Well, yeah.
Like this guy has a real nice suit. He looks like Mr. Bond.
I mean, it's just
oh my god,
it's just so slick.
Oh my god, that beard.
Yeah. All right. So.
Okay. All right, guys. I think that's our last topic. Yeah. Good show
today.
Yeah.
Good.
Again, subscribe. Please. We hit. I think we hit 400 a couple days ago.
415.
Yeah.
415.
Yeah.
If we get to 500 guys, that'd be great. Please subscribe. Helps our show. Brings up the algorithm. And get Keegan off my butt, man.
I'm not that mean.
He's not that bad.
All right, guys.
What are you talking about?
Okay, well, if you guys like today's episode, please make sure to give us a like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe and join us here next time on Automation Breakfast.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
See ya.